Alright, Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. I want to give double honors to our elders at Great Millstone, and honors and to salute to all the brothers out here doing this work in truth and sincerity. We're brothers out here in the San Francisco Bay Area camp. I'm Nicole.
Shalom, Abaniya.
Yeah, so we just wanted to go into some scriptures revolving around this little fiscal cliff thing that's in the news, and just touch on how, as much, according to the scriptures, how as much as Esau wants to try to bring back America and prolong the days of America, America is destined to go down. Alright?
Con.
So, you got the article?
Con. Which one you want first?
Oh, just pick out any one. We'll just go through them.
Okay, Con. This is usnews.com. The article headline says, "After fiscal cliff deal, uncertainty still be devil's business." It says the business community isn't exactly patting Congress on the back for reaching a deal on the fiscal cliff. Rather than giving lawmakers a hearty thanks and congratulatory handshake, business leaders seem to have coped the sort of attitude you might have once you've gotten the neighborhood kids to clear up the toilet paper they left all over your lawn overnight. Clean up the mess and don't let it happen again, you punks. The new deal that lawmakers struck to avoid the cliff has cleaned up some of the mess, most notably by making permanent several tax cuts that have been temporary since early this decade.
Right.
So they pretty much just avoided all these tax cuts that are more austerity measures. Basically, that's what they're avoiding right now. They're trying to buy more time, so to speak, when you can't buy more time off the Most High's clock.
Yep. And on that, get Job 14:5, and then hold that in Zephaniah, how he inhabitants of Mektesh, because it started off talking about the businessmen, how the businessmen, they're not pleased with this. Now, when you go back into the ancient Mektesh, that was a place for merchants, or merchants as well. Like a modern day example of that would be a Wall Street. You can get Zephaniah first.
Okay. This is Zephaniah 1:11. How ye inhabitants of Mektesh, for all the merchant people are cut down, all they that bear silver are cut off.
Right, all they that bear silver are cut off. And that was the title of the article. So yeah, these people who are high-ranking officials in different corporations, they're not pleased with this deal. Why? Because what's included in it is a lot more taxes on them, on the wealthiest of Americans, as Obama would put it. But that don't mean that anything's gonna change for you so-called lower class and middle class Americans, and you underclass. You still gonna catch hell, you know.
You want to go to Job or keep going?
Go to Job, and we'll go back to the article. I'm just gonna go off the spirit with these different articles. To show you how all this fiscal cliff thing, it's prophesied in the scriptures. Or we're gonna go through the spirit of Yahweh Yahushua, how it's spoken about in Jeremiah the 51st chapter about the bomb that was to be took for Babylon. Alright, keep going.
This is Job 14:5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass.
Right, so pretty much the so-called white man, you have bounds, which you're Edomites according to the Bible. All right, contrary to what a lot of these people want to say, that you're from the seed of Japheth. You guys are Edomites, and your bounds is coming to an end. All right, you can't pass it. That's why even though you're trying to pass this thing, the articles is gonna go into it. Pass this thing, meaning the fiscal cliff deal. The article is gonna go into it that it's just prolonging this for another 2 months when you got to vote on it, on when to raise the debt ceiling, so on and so forth. You can just find some information on that. I think it should be in that article as well.
Yeah, I found this quote. It says, "This package averts a crisis, but it doesn't solve the underlying problems in the medium and longer term. says Tim Pawlenty, a former Minnesota governor who is CEO of the Financial Services Roundtable.
Right, because it's a foundational problem. You can't just get out of $15 trillion overnight with some damn bill. You get what I'm saying? The way America is structured isn't structured to be sustainable.
It says Pawlenty worries include an upcoming squabble over raising the debt ceiling and the credit downgrade it might bring.
Yep, because you devils are gonna get another credit downgrade from Moody's, which I believe now is just at A++. They might have took it down 2 pluses. I'm not sure. Or will in a post production will update it. But I know that it got downgraded once, and that was a big thing, you know. So because that leads to when credit downgrades happen, that leads to less companies want to invest in that country. Which consumer confidence is at an all-time low here in America. All right, it shows you that on Black Friday, how that was one of the lowest Black Fridays in the history of America. All right, because people they're trying to save their money. They're not trying to spend like they used to. And in turn, businesses don't want to invest here if nobody's spending no money. If America's not no big ass shopping mall anymore, hey, why invest here?
Yep, and also this past holiday season, there's this article where it said that internet sales were booming instead of regular shopping stores. Retail went down for all the shopping, but internet sales was booming. So no one wants to step out of their house to go to a damn shopping mall. So that's why you're gonna have a lot of ghost town malls that are just empty. It says here the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, the world's largest business organization, also voiced its displeasure when it comes to cutting spending and controlling the national debt. This deal does not even begin to address the serious fiscal challenges we face, said President and CEO Thomas Donahue in a statement this week.
Some on that?
That's pretty much it.
Alright, yeah, just jump to some of those ones.
This is money.cnn.com. The article title is 3 More Fiscal Cliffs Loom.
Yep, yeah, that's the one. Yep. There's like 10 points on it?
Yeah. It says, this is what's in store. The bill approved by the House late Tuesday doesn't address the debt ceiling and temporarily puts off most of the automatic spending cuts otherwise scheduled to take effect Wednesday. Here's what's still ahead. Number 1, the debt ceiling. Congress has to raise the debt ceiling soon, real soon. It says on Monday, Treasury Secretary Tim Geithner made it official. Federal borrowing has reached the 16.3 trillion debt ceiling.
16.3 trillion. All right. And see, and all that's gonna do, raising the debt ceiling, is allowing America to borrow more money, therefore incurring more debt. All right. And now, can you get that in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter?
Come.
And then get the blue letter ready on what that word means for debt. Let's get the exact word. I mean, what the word means for clay. Habakkuk 2, you can start at 4. And just read down.
This is Habakkuk 2 and 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith.
Yep, and that soul that's lifted up is the so-called white man, Esau. So he's lifted up. Why? Because he's been ruling the world for the past 500 years. That's why he's lifted up, and he's not right. That's why he's passing all types of wicked, unlawful decrees, unrighteous decrees. All right, keep going.
Verse 5. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine.
Right, the wine is talking about his philosophy. And we're going to go into that through the Spirit in Jeremiah, the 51st chapter. All right.
He is a proud man.
Right, that philosophy is that false Roman Catholicism. All right, the woman over the man. sodomy, pretty much the worship of the woman, pretty much everything contrary to the scriptures. All right, he worships deities like Baphomet, like Molech, Baal. Right, keep going.
He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home.
Right, neither keepeth at home. Right, which is why America's in over 100 some odd countries, has over 800 military bases. Right, keep going.
Who enlargeth his desire as hell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because whenever the so-called white man goes somewhere, he brings hell. That's why all these countries are looking narrowly at the so-called white man, particularly over here in America, including his own Edomite kind over there in Europe. All right, keep going.
And is as death.
Right, he's as death. All right, that's. Hey, they even make they had this one book. It's called Guns, Germs, and Steel. It was an Edomite breaking down what happens when a so-called white man goes to different countries. All right, most of the population, if they don't get slaughtered by the militias, by the military, they catch diseases and drop dead. All right, the main example is what happened to our brothers over here in America, the tribe of Gad, who people who are not in the know may know as the so-called American Indians. All right, keep going.
And is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
Yeah, because who's the main one pushing this New World Order madness? The so-called white man. Hey, real quick, can you get that in First Maccabees about Antiochus? Because this isn't a new thing. The so-called white man, he's always been pushing this agenda that all people should become as one. It says, gathered unto him all nations. That's why Esau, most countries are what you would know as homogenous countries, or they try to be that way, meaning there's one nation here, or one nation in that country. However, Esau, he wants to gather all nations. He goes to these European countries. He has everybody come to his countries, you know, particularly here in America. You can find anything here. Any nation of people. This First Maccabees 1 and 11. Or, I'm sorry, 41?
41.
Yeah.
First Maccabees 1 and 41.
Yep.
Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and every one should leave his laws, so all the heathen agreed, according to the commandment of the king.
Right, and that's what happens over here in America. All right, you could be born in Persia, you could be a Muslim, or you could practice a traditional, Zoroastrianism.
Yeah.
You know, you could practice that, or you could be from Jordan. You could be a damn Muslim. You could be from Thailand. You could be a damn Buddhist. But you come over here, you cast all of that off. All right, because the so-called white man, he heaped you onto him, right, and he indoctrinated you into his philosophy, into his way of living. That's why you got a lot of people here. You know, they might have roots back in China or Japan, or in Africa, or in any other place of the world, but they would cast off the allegiance to their nation and fight for the so-called white man's army, even against his people. That happens a lot. You see a lot of damn Koreans in the military, and they'll go over to that demilitarized zone and be ready to fucking put a bullet in somebody who looks just like them. But that's how bugged out people are here in America.
That's that wine.
That's that wine. Yep. Keep going.
Back to Habakkuk 2 and 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him?
Right, death to America. All right, that's a well-known one right now. Everybody's saying that. All right, keep going.
And a taunting proverb against him, and say, Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his,